winning?
No, that's the stock bike. That motor's bone stock, the same one we've been running all season. We haven't finished the motor we've been putting all the time into yet, time and money.
Well, great. Are you going to have that hopped-up motor for the next race of the Formula USA Series?
Yeah, that or I'll be pushing it around, one or the other.
Well, there's some interesting comments from Barry Burke. Number 97 on the FCR 1000 had some minor technical difficulties, and we'll look for him next time on that Yamaha. All right, as they come down the front straight at the completion of the second lap, it's quite a battle. Alex White and David Bryant, they're back and forth. David Bryant just retook the lead. Looks like Alex is going around the turns a little better, but David Bryant has the power. We'll see what happens. All right, up in the tower now, we've got Richard D. Moore, also known as Radical Ricky. Richard's had 2 second-place finishes today on that Yamaha TZ250 of his. He had a real strong second in the Formula USA Heavyweight after Barry Burke developed problems, but we feel that Richard was going pretty good today and may have beat Barry anyway. We'll have to find out at the next race about that. And then in Formula USA Lightweight, we had a great battle between Andy Leisner on the Aprilia and Richard Moore on his Yamaha. Richard, how was it out there?
It was a lot of fun. In the heavyweight class, it took me a while to get through traffic, and once I got up there, Barry was next, and we duked it out for maybe half a lap until poor Barry's clutch went south. And then DeMay was up there, but there's no way I could catch up. He's got a pretty nice bike there. He's on Michelin tires as I am, so I think Michelin kind of had to do a little bit of that today. So also in the Formula USA Lightweight, had a good time with Andy Leisner. That was a lot of fun. We're getting kind of warmed up for the AMA National at Sears Point coming up here in about 3 weeks. And it was just nice to go back and forth with someone you trust, and there's no problem. It's good old buddies just going back and forth there. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Bates Leathers, Michelin Tires, of course. I ran the 2 races on the same tires and no problem in either one. And Tsubaki Chains, Shoei Helmets, and Sutco. I'd like to thank all these people and all the people who came out to help me in the pits. Dan Vivier, my girlfriend Sandra, Danny, the Hart Boys, Tim, everybody that's down there. Thanks for helping me out this weekend.
All right, well, that sounds great, Richard. So you'll be at the Sears Point National, as will several of the other competitors here today. Will you be back for the next Formula USA event here at Willow Springs?
Most probably. Willow Springs is home to me, as long as it doesn't get too windy, because I'm kind of a light guy, and the wind tends to take to me like a flag, so I got to watch what I do.
All right, very good. Well, congratulations, Richard. That was a pair of fine rides and just a great race in that lightweight division. One of the better races we've seen in quite a while out here. We look to see more of the same. We do understand you're 5th in the national point standings this year in the AMA class racing for the national championship. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm in 5th now. I'm going to try to hang on to 5th and possibly move up at Sears Point, since I do know my way around that racetrack. And I'd like to say in Chris Carter's words how the Formula USA lightweight race was. I think it was a jolly good scrap between 2 good friends, one on the Aprilia 250, the other one on the Yamaha. So folks, please come back to the Formula USA lightweight next month here at Willow Springs. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Richard D. Moore, Radical Ricky, 2nd place finisher, Formula USA lightweight and Formula USA heavyweight. We can get Andy Leisner up next, the winner of a great battle. We'll see you later, Richard. Okay, we do have the halfway flags out on the current 450 modified production race. halfway. That is first called in for 600cc Super Street. 600cc Super Street, you are up next. This race is over halfway. Okay, we've got Andy Leisner up here. He was riding that number 6 Aprilia. And boy, quite a ride, Andy. Tell us in your own words, how was it out there?
Oh, it was hot, first of all. But I knew Richard was going to be all over me, and I just was in a fortunate enough position to pass him on, down the back straightaway there, and held him off the flag. All the way from turn 9 to the flag, I thought I was going to hear that TZ coming up beside me, but I rode hard enough through 8 and 9 to keep him behind me and pulled it off.
Well, you sure did. Looked like you two passed each other several times a lap for several laps in a row. Did the wind affect the speeds today? I think you guys were going a little bit slower than what you're capable of. How was the wind?
The wind wasn't so much a problem. It was blowing pretty hard, but it wasn't really slowing us down any particular straightaway. The main problem with the 250s was the heat was causing our bikes to run about 15 to 20 degrees too hot, and when that happens, we just don't make very much horsepower. So that was the main problem. We were only running high 29s, I guess, so we were going quite a bit slower. Plus, with the heat, the tires get a little greasy, but my Dunlop stuck great and lasted the whole race, and I was able to hold them off.
Well, great. Well, high 29 still is not too shabby out here at Willow Springs International Raceway. We've had a few questions about the bike that you're riding now. We know it's called an Aprilia. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, Aprilia builds the chassis, and they use mostly Italian parts, like Marzocchi forks, and they just basically use all the Brembo brakes, all the companies in Italy to help them build the chassis. The motor is a Rotax motor. It's a 1988 250 Rotax motor, which has run great for us all season long. We've had absolutely no mechanical problems. We've never DNF'd, a race, or a practice. We've gotten great support from Tony Murphy on it, and it's always as fast, if not faster, than all the Yamahas. So it's really gone good. The Aprilia is about 15 pounds lighter than most of the 250s out there, so it does handle a little bit better than most of the Japanese bikes.
It sure is a beautiful machine. Who are your sponsors with that machine this year, Andy?
Okay, this year I have with me, first of all, Shoei Helmets, who've been with me for a while, Pro Shop Takai Riding Apparel, Dunlop, Castrol, Calgard, Tony Murphy, and the Aprilia factory helps me out here and there with parts and some advice, too.
Okay. Well, we talked to Richard just a few minutes ago, and he's 5th in the national championship point standings. I'm aware that you're running that series also. I saw you back at Loudon in Wisconsin. You've had your ups and downs this year. I know you've had some top finishes and also some problems. Can you tell us how you're doing in the standings and what your prognosis is for Sears Point?
Well, right now I'm 6th in the standings, just a couple points behind Richard. Every time I finished a race since Daytona, I finished in the top 5. Unfortunately, I fell off at Atlanta while I was in 6th, and I fell off at Laguna while I was in 3rd with only 5 laps to go, excuse me. So I've taken 2 tumbles, which have set me back in the points, but I'm finishing consistently in the top 5, and hopefully I can get Richard here at Sears Point, coming up.
Well, that sounds real good. One last question, Andy. We're wondering, with the performance that you and your machine are capable of and demonstrated in the Formula USA Lightweight, why did you not compete in the Formula USA Heavyweight division today?
Well, the heavyweight bikes just get the great starts on us, and I would have had to made my way through traffic. I would have been able to do really well, but I have the nationals to think about. They're my #1 priority, and I want to just keep the bike on 2 wheels and not hurt it, and the USA heavyweight race would have been fun, but I think it would just been a little too much risk for me.
Okay, great. That's Andy Leisner riding the number 6 Aprilia. Took just a great victory over Richard Moore in that lightweight battle today. We'll see more from Andy, I'm sure, in the future. He'll be up at Sears Point at the Nationals. Congratulations, Andy.
Thanks a lot, Kenny.
Okay, the white flag is out on this 450 modified production race. We do have Alex White, number 69, in the lead. David Bryant, number 63, in second, both on Yamahas. This is the next to last, like almost the final call for this next race. That'll be 600cc Super Street. You should be reporting to the pre-grid now. 600 Super Street bikes, please report to pre-grid. Thank you. Okay, coming down for the checkered flag, there's Alex White on the number 69 Yamaha, taking a win over number 63, David Bryant, also on a Yamaha. Third place is coming out of turn 9 right now. And we believe that this is the number 8 FZR of Scott Paul. It sure is. Scott Paul taking third. Okay, final call. All 600cc Super Street bikes to pre-grid immediately. All 600cc Super Street bikes to pre-grid immediately. Jim Draves has put in